Lovely Runner and K-drama Cliches, a review. Like any avid K-drama watcher, I have my favorite actors and actresses that I keep up with. I trust that they will be in good projects and I watch whatever they're in. So when I saw my girl Kim Hye-yoon in a post on Instagram wearing what can only be described as the cliché K-drama girl school uniform, I started preparing myself for some quality television. But then I paused, and my eyes moved to the gigantic man standing next to her and I felt some doubt. The actor was Byeon Woo-seok and I had never seen him before in my life.
I hate to say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street, I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
My immediate thought was that he was way too tall to be acting opposite Kim Hye-yoon, and I wondered if this was a sign that this show would be as awkward as the height difference. Obviously, his height does not make him a bad actor, but that combined with the fact that production failed to make him look like a teenager in the school uniform, made me question where this show was going. For me, the male lead role in a romance K-drama can make or break the show. The actor has to have a certain energy about them. The best romance dramas are the ones where the male lead becomes the viewer's boyfriend. The audience has to fall in love with you. This wouldn't be the first time that I've seen an actor cast as the lead in a romance drama not have romantic lead energy and the show ended up being awful in every way. I'm looking at you, clean with passion for now. I remember this show feeling really awkward because the actors didn't have any chemistry. The actress was around 18 or 19 and the actor was 31. The whole thing felt uncomfy. The memory of that show has haunted me for years. So now I'm a bit skeptical of dramas with strange casting. This didn't throw me off from wanting to watch it, but I'll admit that I wasn't as motivated and I ended up watching it much later than I intended. Shout out to the TikTok editors for posting all the cute edits of the show and reminding me to watch it. The fan edits made me change my mind on the lead actor. Seeing him in action convinced me that he was a good fit for this type of role, and I have to say I'm so glad I watched this drama. I could talk about this show forever. So in an effort to give myself some closure, I now present this completely unnecessary video that probably took me 3 days to make. This video was brought to you with the help of many different Pinterest and TikTok accounts, from which I have shamelessly compiled their content into a slideshow. I am not a professional. I'm simply someone with too much time on their hands. Thank you, whoever you are. Before I get into the show, I want to share my Spotify playlist quickly. It has all of my favorite songs from K-drama soundtracks. I will be adding songs from Lovely Runner on there as well. The link will be in the description. And now, on to the review. The review, no spoilers. The K-drama Lovely Runner, released in 2024, is about Eun-woo, who needs to use a wheelchair after a mysterious accident. She's a dedicated fan of K-pop idol Roo Sun-jae, and after a concert in 2023, he unfortunately dies, leaving Seoul distraught. Shortly after, she gains the ability to travel back in time to 2008, and she vows to save Sun-jae. The concept alone had me hooked. Seoul is too relatable because if I could go back in time, I'd jump at the chance to be friends with my favorite celebrity as well. There's this one scene where she sees him and just starts crying, and honestly, same. The series explores themes of fate and time. In my opinion, this is the best use of time travel since Back to the Future. The writers fully take advantage of this concept. Not once when watching did I find myself thinking, I wish this happened, or they should have shown us this. Anything that could happen happened, and then it wasn't done and turned upside down. There are recurring symbols in one timeline that show up in another, and with each new timeline, things evolve ever so slightly. The question, how do you change fate, is constantly present in the events of each episode, so there's not a lot of filler. As far as the romance goes, these actors definitely do have chemistry. The connection is made more believable because of the circumstances surrounding the story. I was crying at least once an episode. I gave this a 9 out of 10 and I haven't rated a drama that highly since 2020's It's Okay to Not Be Okay. Lovely Runner was so good that I feel ashamed for even doubting it in the first place. The soundtrack is living rent-free in my head. It's been almost a week since I finished watching the show and I still haven't moved on. In the sea of dramas that come out every year, this one stands out. I'm trying not to get too deep into the plot of the show. 1, because all the different timelines will take me forever to explain. And 2, because honestly, the best way to experience it is to watch the show. But we're at a point in the video where I have to explain the story a little more, so for the rest of this video there will be mild spoilers. In all actuality though, there is really only one part of this video that has a spoiler. It's more so the footage I'm using that might spoil things, since some clips are from beyond episode 1. You can get away with just listening to the rest of this video, if you want. Characters. When something is fated, it's destined to happen no matter what, and we see Seol fighting an uphill battle to change things. There's something about the characters played by actress Kim Hye-yoon. Her characters are always desperately trying to alter the rules of the universe. Seol is the backbone of this story. She's determined and funny without coming off as annoying. Sunjae is an interesting character because he's often dragged along with whatever. This man has horrible luck. He took so many losses that it's almost funny. If you were to keep score of his embarrassment throughout the series, you'd end up with a super high number. He's kind and endearing, which is really all you can ask of a romantic lead. Webtoon versus show. The show is based on a web novel called Tomorrow's Best and a comic by the same name. It's available to read on Tuppis. Although I haven't read all of it, I thought I'd point out some initial differences between the show and the comic. Number 1. Seol is not paralyzed in the webtoon. She's walking around fine. They likely added this to differentiate between the past and present versions of the character and to introduce a mystery. Number 2. The watch that Seol uses to travel back in time is not a digital watch like in the show. Instead, she uses an old-style pocket watch. In the drama, she buys Sunjae's watch in an online auction, and in the webtoon, she finds the pocket watch on the street after someone bumps into her. I prefer how it is in the K-drama because the fact that the watch was owned by Sunjae symbolizes a connection between the main characters. Also, on an aesthetic level, the watch makes sense for the 2008 setting. Number 3. The second-hand embarrassment in the comic is 20 times more embarrassing than the show. I will not explain any further for the sake of my own mental health. The cliche problem? Spoilers here. As I said, this drama is one of the best written romance K-dramas in a while, but even so, there is one flaw so bad that I kept pausing the show to rant. That problem is the stalker. I won't even bother to Google this character's name because frankly, he doesn't deserve a name. I couldn't even find much footage of this guy to work with, and I'm not willing to go through multiple hour-long episodes to find 20 seconds total of him lurking in the background. I know I said earlier that I had too much time on my hands, but not that much time. So for the rest of the video, the stalker will be represented by this black hat. Anyway, the story goes that the reason why Seol is unable to walk is because in 2008, she was targeted by this serial kidnapper, who happened to see her alone one night. The stalker is a taxi driver, so Seol wakes up with her hands tied in the back of his car. She escapes and tries to run away, but the stalker follows her in his car, hits her, and she falls off a bridge, into the river. Forgive me if my retelling isn't exactly how it goes. I was crying through a lot of it, so it's hard to remember. Basically, in every timeline, the stalker will find Seol or Sunjae and cause problems that Seol has to fix. What you notice though, is that at no point in this show is it explained why this man is obsessed with Seol. Why is he trying so hard to find her specifically? Can't he just attack someone else? And how does he escape the consequences every time? He's not shown to be especially smart or resourceful. He's just always there, and it's jarring in an otherwise well-written show. If you're a regular K-drama fan, then you've seen the stalker before. He normally wears a black baseball cap, a jacket, and a face mask. It will be a completely normal show, and then at the end of the episode, there's just a gloved hand holding a knife. The stalker is right there with the white van that always knocks everyone over. It's just something that happens in K-dramas, so it was almost poetic justice when the stalker was run over by a truck in the last episode. The two cliches finally canceled each other out. I was so relieved. Now I might be wrong, but at the point I'm at in the webtoon, the stalker has not shown up, so I'm assuming this character was just added for the drama. Honestly, I see why the showrunners added him. It makes episodes have higher stakes, challenges soul, and keeps the narrative moving forward. But could he not have at least a few lines of dialogue? They should have explained what makes him so determined to cause trouble. The rewrite. I could never say that the writers of this show are bad at their job. The only way for me to make sense of the messy stalker plot is to assume that they ran out of time. That must be the reason why it was so half-baked. Fear not, writers. It's me, your biggest fan, here to tell you that there's still hope. There's no need to be depressed. Take that green onion out of your mouth. We can go back and fix everything. So now that we are successfully in the past, what are some ways to make the stalker fit into the narrative? The themes of the story are time travel and fandom, so let's just use that. Method 1. The stalker is a time traveler too. In 2023, he hates the K-pop group and gets into an online fight with Seoul. So when he travels back to 2008, he recognizes her from something she said and begins stalking her. Method 2. The stalker in 2008 figures out that Seoul can time travel. He harasses her for lottery numbers or something like that, but she can't tell him. He becomes obsessed with the idea of bettering his future and begins threatening her. I could come up with more, but you get the point. It would have been so easy for writers to add something like this. Actor Byeon Woo-seok. Remember how I said one of my reasons for postponing this drama was because of the actor? Well, I have been severely humbled. This guy gave such a good performance that I thought maybe he was some legendary child actor or something that was just coming back to acting. And that's why I'd never seen him before. He was so compelling in this role that I had to Google him after. Well, it turns out that I actually had seen him before and that there's a reason why I don't remember him. He was in that cursed movie that I haven't acknowledged since the day I watched it. That movie is 20th Century Girl, probably the most horrifying movie you'll ever watch. I had PTSD so hard from the movie that I apparently blocked it out of my mind. I can't remember a thing about it to save my life. All I remember is that I was heartbroken at the end.
This is me before watching 20th Century Girl. My friend told me to watch it and the trailer looks really cute, so let's see. Yo, when I tell you this movie's so cute. That movie wasn't even that sad for real, like y'all tripping.
Moving on, I was shocked to find out he was in so many classic K-dramas. Weightlifting Fairy, Moon Lovers, Record of Youth. The handsome villain in Strong Girl Nam-soon. He was my favorite on that show all this time and I didn't remember him. How could a person be everywhere and nowhere at the same time? Never before have I felt so stupid. I'm glad someone so talented is finally getting the recognition he deserves. Conclusion. So what do I take away from this, other than the urge to cry whenever I see an umbrella? This show was so good that I wish I had recorded myself reacting to it. I was a mess in every episode. I recommend people watch it. It does fall into some tropes, but it's worth it. I think this is a good first K-drama for people to watch because it's just unique enough, but it still has that classic K-drama vibe. Making this video took me forever, so thank you for watching to the end. I hope to make a follow-up to my last video since From Me to You Season 3 is out. I also want to make more videos about webtoons. Not sure when I'll get to it, so it's best to subscribe if you want to watch more. Like, comment, share, all the things.
Only those with excellent social standing and those from filthy rich families are lucky enough to spend their time here at the elite private school, Oran Academy. The Oran Host Club is where the school's handsomest boys with too much time on their hands entertain young ladies who also have way too much time on their hands. Just think of it as Oran Academy's elegant playground for the super rich and beautiful.